Mason, Moonshine Throwdown Week. I remember back at Media Day, it seems like just yesterday, you mentioned this was a game that you were looking forward to, hoping to, turn things around in this series. I guess now that it's here, what's the feeling like?
I mean, no better. I mean, what better place for all the marbles than the green team, man? It's just perfect culmination, I think, of highs and lows of our season. And, in the Moonshine Throwdown, at their place, I mean, I don't really think it gets any better than that. So this is it, man. There's a big stage. It's what you want when you're a player. So I think we're excited.
They have one of the best pass rushes in the nation. I guess what makes it so productive, whether it be stunts or just different type of blitzes that they draw up?
I think they do a good job of stunning. I think their DC prides their D-line and their front, their box really on executing the assignments that they're given. They're very disciplined. They're very sound. They don't make a lot of mistakes up front. And they all have good motors. I mean, you don't really see a whole lot of them taking plays off. And I think that's what you expect when you play a Marshall defense. And so I think, games are fought in the trenches. So it's going to be a big one.
Throughout the season, the offensive line here has been graded as one of the best pass blocking offensive line or the best in the nation. What's led to that success and what does that mean to you as one of those guys up front?
I think a huge part's Hamby. He does a great job of prepping us mentally every week, which makes everything a lot easier when you don't have to think as much because of the scheme and the system. It allows you to just play. I also think the cohesiveness. We're a really close-knit group. Obviously with Bo, the addition of Bo, but he's fit right in, and then you got guys that have been playing together for a couple years. But we all really love on each other. We spend a lot of time together outside the field house as friends, and I think when you have a unit that meshes like that, it makes it a lot easier to dominate games.
Bailey's on pace to break WKU's single-season passing yards record and touchdown record against Marshall Saturday. I guess what does it mean to you? You've been blocking for him all year and just keeping him clean. I guess what does it mean to you if he's able to get that Saturday? I
mean, what a great deal for him to be able to leave his mark. I know he's was up for some stuff and some things didn't bounce out this week, and I know he's still just so focused on taking this to school as far as we can go. Really selfless guy. Just coming in, doesn't talk about his stats hardly ever. Really just focused on wins and losses, and so to have him get some physical, something that he can look back on physically and say, I have this record, I think will be really cool and special for him. So that's super exciting.
A guy in a position that might get overlooked, Corey Munson. He gives you back the ball late in the first half. Last week has a couple tackles in that game. After a couple tackles down at Rice, how much does he fire up the team, and how important is what he does, even though it probably gets overlooked?
Oh, Corey's so slept on. I think earlier in the season he was kind of having some woes, and Coach kind of got into him, and he really just turned it on. Once again, another guy who doesn't really complain, doesn't really look at his own stats, but when you see a kicker running down there full speed and just laying the wood on guys, I mean, you're like, shoot, I can do that too, man. And so I think it's really fires everyone up. It's the same thing when you see like Gomez, make that big pick against his team. As a unit, a collective unit, when we have all these guys that want to succeed together, I think it makes it way more just family atmosphere. So when you have a team that loves on each other like that, it's good.
Okay, so we're talking about wings and stuff before. Do you have a favorite wings, and have you tried CJ's wings yet?
Oh, yeah. I've had CJ do a couple meal preps for me. I like CJ's salmon. Big shout out to CJ Mariah, Chef C. He does a great job with his food. My favorite wings are back home, a place called Pluckers in Texas. I'm biased. I talk about Whataburger. I talk about Pluckers and Torchy's. There's great places. But here, I like Double Dogs. Double Dogs my spot. They have good tenders. I don't really consider those wings, but we'll count them as boneless. So that's probably my favorite spot.